Hello, hello, hello. I'm the PaintedDog and welcome back to another episode of our City Skylines Vanilla Let's Play series. I hope you're having a lovely day. My day is actually quite good. I was sitting here looking at this busy intersection here. Basically all these intersections are busy. And we might have to keep an eye on this, but for now I think it's still fine. I did a bit of work and I changed around some of the intersections, but for now that's fine. We're just ignoring those vehicles there. If you take a look at traffic's down to 86% and it's basically all of us. The rest is busy. You can see it's a bit busy, but vehicles are moving. It might be slow, but they are moving. The same over here. We had a bit of a fire here. So yeah, that's something that happened. But the traffic's still moving, that's the biggest thing. All the red areas traffic's moving, it's just high traffic areas. Over here, backing up to the highway, but that's fine. There's not much that I can do at this stage with this, but we expected that to happen, so it's fine. This is still holding up with just the addition of that bit of road there. But this cargo train terminal is getting a bit busy, but we have unlocked something of interest. We have the air cargo that we can utilize now. So I was thinking we might want to use this bit of land here for an air cargo terminal. We can always, if you take a look here, we have a airport cargo train station. We can always take this train line from here and curve it around and get that into there. And we can add small areas for traffic to be able to cross over here. Maybe just from this side of the highway. One leading out of the city. Maybe that, or out of the industrial area. Maybe that might be something. We can add the rest the other way to the west-east region of a highway. But for now, maybe just this Aspen highway. That might be something to consider, although this is now busy, but no, we'll see. So I think for this episode, let's try and do something, try and alleviate the traffic in this area. So first up, we are going to deform this entire area. Let's sell. That's might be one of my favorite additions of a new update. But you can sell your soil. No more building those weird and strange mountains. Or taking soil from out of the sea. Or the waterways. Just so you can create or get soil for your projects. So I will be, after everything's done, I will go around and do something but let's smooth this out a bit. On this side we can't really do much, but yeah, we might be able to do something later on. But for now, I'm just going to leave it. So let me bulldoze this, prepare the site, and I'll bring you back now. Okay, and the site is prepared for now. So as you can see, there's a train line running right here. But if we create another interchange for the trains like this, it might cause some congestion. That's why I have an idea to use this bit. It's just a dead end now, but it's connected to all the necessary areas. So if we can curve this around without destroying any of this, take it through here, then we might be able to add it in there. But first things first, we need a road layout on this side. I did a bit of work. Initially I wanted to add in a small crossover here, interchange in here, but the space was a bit limited and I didn't have enough space on this side. So what I wanted to try out, this will probably be a mess and then we can change it up later, but for now I added in these spurs. So vehicles will come from here. I can take that loop, it crosses underneath here and adds up, inserts here in this roundabout. And we want to exit, I take this one and it exits to that ramp there, or that highway exit. From this side it was easy, down here and up there. When I snaked a road going through underneath here, ending up here, and I just took this one back a bit so we have a bit more space on this side. So now what I want to do is have a basic road layout. Go something like that. And how far can we go? Yeah, I think that will be fine. Then we can take this up a bit. And do something maybe like that. Let's see if we get this in. If this will behave. Maybe somewhere in there would be fine. So let's get out of this view. And let's demolish that bit right there. And let's line this up, hopefully. Might be worth it to just get a short bit like that in. Nah, that might work, but I don't really like how that one looks at the end there. So let's get a bit. We'll see if that's now the same length. No, that's actually quite okay. And let's get that lined up, something like that. I want to make this one-way system heading in this direction. Okay. Now I might want to add in a snaking road going through here. You know what? No, let's do something like this. Let's take this entire road out like that. Take that up to there. We still need a bit of students, but we are getting there. So let's take that up to there. You one way there. Line up like that. Now let's try and do similar. I don't want to see your varsity sports now. Let's try and do a similar thing on this side. That's a bit close. Just a little bit. So let's get that one in there. Extend that out a bit. Will that work? That's a bit close, but I can live with that. And let's upgrade this to a normal one-way road. And do something like that. Let's turn this into something like that, hey? I don't really want them using this to get in and out, but that's just something for redundancy's sake. Otherwise, let's just take that bit out there. Do something like that. Want to keep two roads in. Yeah, I think that will be fine. We might want to rework this, but for now I think that's okay. So now let's get our train terminal in here. Now for this, as I said, I want to expand from there. So you know what? Let's just pause this for now. Let's get the rail network just underneath the ground. Something like that. Easy, quick and simple. Just like that for now. We can work around that later on. For now, let's expand on this. To try and get our planes to do something sensible for once. So let's get this as close as we can. We won't be able to place a lot of these cargo aircraft stands in here, but we will be able to get a couple. Let's move these up as close as we can to try and get away from that rail connection there. Sorry, I'm just concentrating really hard because it's not really well defined. Okay, something like that. That will be a-okay. Now we need a runway. So maybe, will that be long enough? Yes, that's long enough. Let's maybe take it up to about there. I'll work with the directions of all of this now. Vehicles going in there and in there. And exit through there. Don't worry about the direction of the things now. We'll work on that later, but for now, let's just do something like that. Okay, okay, so we want to these connected up, obviously. And then we want the ability to skip this line. So let's do something like that. Line that up, and maybe change the direction. I'm gonna leave that one in that direction, just so there's a way for these airplanes to skip this bit if they have to. Now, do we attempt to get another line in here? That's smooth. Now these ones might be a bit difficult. Hey, we can make this work. Now the question is, do we reverse this? I don't think so. I think this will work quite well for what we want to achieve. So over here, let's get something like that. That would have been great if we could squeeze that one in there. Maybe get that going up like that. That works. It's not the best looking connection, but as long as it works, why not? Let's see. Can we get this to behave? Okay, now let's take a quick gander if everything's okay. You need to go down. You need to go up. So they can get in, they can get out, in, out. Okay, that's fine. Do we maybe want to sneak something in there? Let's see. Can we push that back a bit? Just a little bit still. And get this just smoothed out a little bit. I like to add in this bit. I say as if I've done this a lot. But now there's a chance for our airplanes to go from here and around if I have to. I can get onto there, and if I want to go around and come from this side, they can do that as well. This might be a complete mess, but I think for now that will be fine. Now we need our water connections. So I don't know. I don't have any idea how I want to do this. For now, since this is just a normal road network and trains, let's do something like that. And maybe up to about there. Just so we can get everything connected. There's a bit redundancy in there, but it's always good to have a bit of redundancy. Okay, now everything's connected with water. We just need electricity now. And I'm going to do something sneaky that I usually like to do in situations like this. Get that out, get the earthquake sensor, and see if that It's close enough to connect up, not really. And if we do an additional one on this side, that's okay, but let's see if we can sneak one in there as well. Now that's a better connection. Now we just need to do the same over here because our aircraft stands also need that. Now that's connected up. Let's take a quick peek at our road network. Okay, so vehicles can get in here. Then they have an option of either... I'm gonna do this. Just for now. So they can have... Is there any additional nodes in here? Okay, there's one node there. So that's fine. In nodes... Okay, there's extra node here. So they get here, then they can turn right to go to the train station itself. See, that's a problem now. Okay, so let's quickly do something about that. Do something like that. Will we be able to turn this one to the... and place it on that side? That might be a bit too close. Let's see. If I delete you and I replace you, will you behave? Actually, you will. So let's get that small piece of track connected up again. Make these a bit longer than necessary, but I think that will work. Okay, now let's take a quick peek at our traffic that's going to go through here. We can take a right there if we want to go to the train station itself. They have an option to go through here. Do I want to make this bit? Upgrade this to something like that. Then they have an option if they want to get through, they can go through here. Otherwise we'll have to go back here, cross in front of that intersection again to get up there. That might be something. We will keep an eye on traffic, just in case. Now do we want to get this and do something like that? That might be an idea. Leave it at a 2-lane such as that, up until there, and then they can merge into one. I don't really want to make a connection there. I want the traffic going from here to that bit and then connecting up. But I might just be tempted to do something like that. But I think for now, let's leave it out. You know what? Let's do it the other way around. Let's leave bits like this in. And then we can change that out later if it becomes an issue. You know, something like that. I want these vehicles to... Yeah, let's do something like that. Okay. Now we have an option to go back there, turn in. It's not, might not be the best idea, but it will be fine. Okay, so now that bit is done. Now we need to connect up our rails in a sensible manner. So let's go. Let's just take the road guidelines off. One, two, three, four, five. Something like that. That's 1 to 4. That's not far enough. I'm just gonna do it like that for now. Let's just get these. Continue straight for a bit. Might not be realistic to have this underground, but for us it's fine. Let's take it up to about there, then we can get you above ground again. And now we need to snake this road down. Let's get a nice 90-degree angle there. And do something like that. Now I want to do this as sensible as I can. So maybe go through there. Down there. I don't think I'll be able to save. That might be a bit steep. And that turn might be a bit drastic. But hopefully we won't have to slow down too much. The same with this. This might be a bit steep, but hey. Now the question is, will this be effective? Let's get this going, I guess. That's the only way to know. I might want to add in bits like this. You see, that can't because of that. But let's see how that does. Speed this up. Have a quick peek at our traffic. 85%. This is still a bit wonky. As you can see, I did a bit of work here. I changed this up so these vehicles can exit through there. Okay, yeah, I made the adjustments there. It's 87% now. Let's take a look at this area from over here. I will do the decorating as soon as I know this is successful. Then we can do a bit of decorating. But for now, I might just be tempted to take this bit out. Just like that. For now, we can rework it later, but not what I wanted to do. Something like that. But let's keep an eye on this area and see what the traffic will do. And traffic in this area is picking up a bit now, so we'll just keep an eye on that. What I might want to do now is add in a bit of road like that, maybe a little road like that. We'll see how our traffic works around this. I think it will be fine. We have our first airplane, I believe. 5% load. Not the best, but hey. Where are you going now? You see, I don't want that. That's a bit strange. So I'm gonna delete that bit there. Yeah. I don't want them using only that bit of runway. That's why we have this. So far traffic's okay. What's the traffic situation over here? As you can see, it's bad. It's really bad. But these vehicles will be able to get here from that side and from that side. As you see, they're using that one there. And they will probably never use this to turn around, so there won't really be any crossing over from that side to that side. That's why I designed it this way, with the exits on one side and the entrances on the other. Might get a bit busy here, but here, not really. So hopefully this will be a successful endeavor. And hopefully we'll start seeing trains using this sooner rather than later. Let's keep an eye on this, if there's any trains going through here. So far I haven't really seen any vehicle. Okay, I say that and now trains are showing up. Or traffic showing up here to use this. Okay, they're mostly turning here, which is great because it's the shortest route, so we'll probably use that. So far the traffic's fine. Train just disappeared. We might have to do a turnaround thing here, but I think that's okay for now. Let's see what's gonna happen now. Doing a turnaround there. Why are you doing that? I want to get you there. Okay, that's not the best way to do that, but that's fine. Don't really want to make this a what do we call it? A normal 2-lane road, because it might get a bit long now vehicles, but let's face it, they won't be using this road if they will basically only use this road if they want to get to that. So I might do something like that. We'll just see if the vehicles are doing something strange, such as leaving here and turning to their right. But for now, traffic's not that bad over here. Traffic's still bad over here. Let's see a quick experiment. If we turn this cargo terminal, train terminal off, and they only have to use this one, what the traffic will do now. Because that might be a solution for us at the end of the day. See, I don't really want them doing that, but again, they'll only drive up here if they want to get in. So hopefully that won't be too big an issue. Only issue might be around here, where a roundabout might fix that, but hey, let's see. Traffic percentage is a bit up now. There are still vehicles driving in there because the AI said they have to go there. It's already calculated, so that's unfortunate, but we can't really do anything about that now. Except if we were to clear traffic, but we don't have any mods enabled, so that's not really an option. Let's see what our traffic will do if I only have for 1x. Why are you only using this? There's... okay, that's busy there. Okay, fine. So that's the other issue that we might encounter with planes clogging up the taxiways, but that's something that will just happen naturally. But let's see how this goes. I think that was a quite successful time lapse. As you can see, the cargo train station generates a lot of traffic at once, but so far it copes quite well. Other thing that we might want to do is add in a roundabout around here, and then maybe a smaller one in here just to regulate this traffic. Otherwise you can use a bigger one, only one for in and out of this area, one for in to this area, and then two, maybe the top and the left one for this sort of traffic. So the top one for the train and the bottom one for the airport, or the aircrafts. Aircrafts are a bit wonky at this stage, but there's not much that we can do at this stage. Might want to do something like this, so they can leave that way around if they want to as well. If they can't take that bit to depart. I said this is working quite well, and now we have this, a lot of planes and a lot of trains. So let's see how this thing copes, but the traffic's bad, don't get me wrong, but at this stage it's okay. Okay, not really anymore, backing up all the way to there. So as long as the airplanes and the trains don't arrive here at the same time, this thing copes, but now it's a bit clogged up. I'm gonna wait for this to disappear first, if possible, and then I'm gonna add in a quick roundabout here to see if that helps at all. Hopefully it does, but if not, we can work around that. So let's do a quick check first. 10, we'll be able to get 10 from there. 10 from there is not a problem. So let's do something like that. And then I don't want to brag, but that's working out quite well, if I do say so myself. Except for this bit, that's a bit close. I forgot that we need to snake that road around there. So maybe, just maybe, 10's not the answer. But I feel like 5 is too small, so let's try a 7. 5, 6, 7. Hopefully this side will behave. No, it won't. Why would it behave? There's no reason for it to behave. Now let's quickly get this connected up. Just like that for now. No need to brace this roundabout, really. Except if we want to get this turn a bit more drastic like that. If you want to get this connected up there, but then again it might cause other issues. I don't want to turn you around, I want to upgrade you to something like that. And same with that. Gonna take that bit out. These the roads. Okay. Yeah, they have an option to go around there. Let's do it from this side. Since we are taking that bit out. Yeah. That's fine. I don't anticipate a lot of traffic using that bit right there. So let's take that out and let's get this running. Now there's only the crossover there. That's not great. But there's really not a lot that we can do there. Let's add in a node or two. Now we have that bit there that we can also change lanes. That's basically only moving this. Let's wait and see if traffic flow improves here. We might have to do a bit of rework, but no, everything's fine there. Hopefully they don't really use this to cross over. I don't anticipate them doing that, but you never know. Why are you doing that? Just answer me that, please. Other option is to create a small road going from there over to there, but I don't know. I don't think these ones will. Let's do something like that. If you want to get here, you can use this road. If you want to get from here, you can go, and to this side you can go through here, which is fine. There's traffic on here. And we can always get away with a small road. Maybe going from here. Go underneath. To about there. Get that lined up. Something like that. Not the one that I wanted to do or use. This is really over-engineered at this stage, but I want the traffic to flow quite well. So that's highway now, so that will be the fastest way if they want to get from this side to that side. That's where if you had the tools that you can tell them that this has priority, vehicles in the roundabout, that would be great. Other option is to add in offshoot from this onto here. But that's not really something that I would really see happening in real life. Something like that. But it's the same thing that's happening over here with this bit there. Not something you'll see in real life, but in game it works. All of the parks are burning down. And we do have the fire helicopter depot. You see, now the problem is vehicles are... Because that's a junction, probably. Yep. Just make that a normal stop. Still some vehicles using this. But traffic's flowing now, at least. Some vehicles are using that. So hopefully that will cope. As I said, this isn't indicative of real life, as all our taxiways are clogged up by airplanes. But hopefully this is okay. Hopefully this will serve us in the long run. Now, I did set this to be emptied out, so let's demolish that and quickly upgrade this bit of road while we can. Do you know, something like that? That will be fine. And as soon as we get to 60,000, we can unlock this tile and get this connected up. So in short, what we did today was... Let's take a quick peek at our traffic. 84 is actually worse. It's seriously worse now. But I think it's a majority of this is vehicles crossing over here, and okay, traffic's flowing at least there again. That's not a one-way, so yeah, I don't know why they are having issues there, but it's for these warehouses. And there's no junctions there, so let's add in a stop sign on that side. Would have been great if we could have priority signs in the base game, but hey, that's not something that we have now. Traffic's 84%, as you can see, it's really high use areas, but as I said, there won't be any crossover there. Yeah, there's still a bit of crossover from there to there, but that's fine. Some vehicles are using that bit there. Some vehicles might be using that bit there. I haven't seen any, I haven't concentrated to see if there's any there yet, but hey, that's fine. But so far we have a successful area here. Our cash is 32,000 per week. Farm is at 13,000 profit. Our wood production is at 700. We don't have a lot of... Okay, we have quite a lot of that, but we can turn things off and on there. Our international airport here is almost making a profit. Okay, I say almost, not as if it's making a 5,000 deficit at this stage, but hey, that's fine. I think we do need services such as this in here. I might be tempted to add that in there. Still unrecognized because we don't really have enough students, but it's getting slowly but surely getting there. So let's add in some of these buildings just to make sure that our citizens are fine. I don't anticipate a lot of vehicles coming out of these buildings, so that's fine. So now the entire area here is basically covered by those three, and we are still making 30,000 per week, which is great with a mess of airplanes here. But if you take a quick peek at our cash from our industries, farming is really profitable, and the unique factories and warehouses are a lot profitable. Really profitable, but the fishing industry is not. This is somewhat, so that's fine. From this, everything's making a loss. All our public transport is making a loss. So that isn't great, but that's fine. From this, income comes from tourism. That's not too shabby. Tourism and our public transportation is quite a lot from tourism, so that's great. And schools, zero income from that. Quite a lot from commercial, really a lot from residential. So yeah, I think that might be one of the most successful things that we changed up. This is a bit wonky again, but we might have to rework this entire area. I think that might be something that we have to do. We might have to move these warehouses because they are really contributing to the pressure in this area. But I think that would be fine for now. Our new cargo area is really working so far, not causing too many traffic delays. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Cheerio.